Rutgers game against these guys. You know, obviously played them tough, could have won. You know, why do you think that y'all's 2 seasons sort of turned in different directions after that?
It was definitely the pivotal game of our season last year, and I don't really have an explanation for why the seasons went the way it did, other than the fact that, you know, their leadership and Cam Newton and Nick Fairley and those guys stepped up after that game, I'm sure, and really turned it on, and we didn't have that last year.
Is this an opportunity for maybe you guys to get a jump start for your season in a similar way?
A big opportunity. Yeah, whenever you have the national champions coming into your house, there's no telling what can happen after that game. And those guys are riding a 17-game win streak, and we just have to seize the day. It's a big opportunity for us, for Clemson football. So that's it.
From what you can see on film, even though they lost a lot of personnel from their defense too, do they tend to be doing the same things?
They're still very good. They have skilled players. Their secondary is very talented. Their defensive line, of course, anchored by the defensive end, Nosa Igwe, is very physical, very fast. Their linebackers, though young, have some experience, and Bates, who moved from safety to outside linebacker, and their middle linebacker is a returning starter. So, I mean, they have some experience. We just have to go out and execute.
You say all that, but they've still given up 280 yards a game rushing. I mean, how would you explain that?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, we have a lot of returning guys on our defense, and what have we given up rushing? You know, so it's just a week-to-week thing. Yeah, you can't really put a finger on it, but those guys are really good, and they found a way to win. You know, they've given up 280 yards rushing, but got 2 W's out of it.
Have you noticed, as you've walked off the field after various offensive series, particularly last week, that you guys weren't playing physically enough on offense?
Yes, I definitely have noticed it, and myself included. On the 4th and 1, when Chad got blown up, I washed my guy into Chad. So that was definitely my fault. It's really hard. It's like I said, familiarity and physicality go hand in hand. The more familiar we get with this offense, the more we're going to be able to play faster and open up and be the physical beast that we have on this offensive line.
What did Wofford do scheme-wise to kind of take you out of the game?
Well, they had smaller guys, so they did a lot of movement, and instead of, you know, the traditional where the defensive guy is supposed to go through you, you know, Wofford was taught to go around us, and that created some problems for us. And, you know, and that all goes back to technique. Guys got to take the correct footsteps, and work on their footwork throughout the week, because though Auburn is big enough to go through us, I'm sure I've seen on film where they like to do some things to not necessarily go around us, but angle their fronts and stuff like that. So footwork is going to be key for us.
Do you really believe that Auburn loss hung over this team last year, or is that just an easy story to tell? That,
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you really believe that Auburn loss had an effect, a hangover effect on the team last year, or is that just an easy story to tell?
Nah, that's not an easy story to tell at all. It's not an easy story. You know, that game was so pivotal. You go into that. Let's say we win the close one. Just the confidence booster that we get from, you know, though Auburn wasn't really a ranked team or on anyone's radar right then, you know, say they go on and still have the season that they have after that. The confidence booster that we have from playing against a team like that, you know, we come back home, maybe we take care of business against Miami. Maybe we don't have the mental bust on defense against Miami. We come out of that game victorious. Then we go to a North Carolina who had a depleted team totally, and we don't go out there last day school, and we go up there and take care of business. So I do believe that game last year was the turning point in our season.
Was there any point last year as they're making their run, and you sit back and you're like, man, we almost beat those guys? Like, how the heck did it? How are they doing so well, and how things gotten to the point where they were for you?
There was a couple times that I kind of sat back and really relished the opportunity that we had. But things happen for a reason, and here they are, 17, you know, riding that 17-0 win streak, and we have this opportunity again. So the only thing we got to do is go out and take it.
What do you say to these younger guys that didn't play in that game last year? How do you get them motivated for big games?
Oh man, get ready for a battle. Get ready for a battle, because that's exactly what it was last year. Talking about physical, it was like a third and 6 or 7 or something like that. Cal got pressured and threw it up. We ran a little fake screen and I was up the sideline. I never got hit that hard in my life. Never got hit that hard in my life. But you know, I got back up and came back for more. And that's what those guys are going to have to do this weekend.
Everybody likes to say each opponent's the same, prepare the same, whether it's Wofford or Auburn. But is it different at practice, in the classroom, around campus? Is it different?
You feel it different, you know, throughout this whole university. You know, there was no one camping out for Wofford tickets or for Troy tickets. You know, yet there was a line around the stadium for Auburn tickets. So, you know, just seeing that, I'm sure it's going to put a bit more attention to detail into guys whenever they're preparing and studying and getting ready for this game.
You look at the offense, you guys are averaging 39 points a game, but there seems to be a sense from Coach Morris and some of the guys that you haven't done as much as you want to do. What do you feel it needs to improve on the offense to get to the level you want to get to?
Our running game. There's so much that we're leaving out there. And, you know, Coach Morris made a statement where, like, you know, he was proud of me for not being selfish and asking for the ball. Shoot, I want to be a part of an offensive line group that has the nation's top rusher. That's my goal, and because I believe in those guys in the backfield. I believe in Andre Ellington and Mike and the rest of those guys back there. I believe that we can do it. It's just the little things that we have to get correct during the week so that we can go out and do it. You know, he talks about leaving stuff out there on the field. There was plenty of times if, you know, a guy would have just got this cut off, you know, took this right step, that we would have got him cut off and Andre would have been out the gate for another 75 yards.
It seems like it's been a couple of years of we've got to get the little things corrected. Do you think this would be a good time to finally say it was all put together this week?
It'll be a great time, actually, you know, to have that. And that's one thing that I'm definitely going to be working for and pushing the guys to actually get done this week, to concentrate on the little things.
Who was it that hit you last year at Auburn?
Don't remember his name. I believe it was maybe it was Zach Etheridge. It was one of the safeties. Yeah, it was one of the safeties, man. Yeah. It came across me and I kind of laid out. Yeah, I was on punt team the next. It was third down, so punt went out there next. I had to get off the field, man, because I wasn't gonna make it on punt. That was a pretty good lick.
So you feel like the more you know, the faster you can play, and you can get those little things right. Essentially,
that's true with everything. That's true with everything. That's why I say familiarity and physicality. The more familiar we become with this offense in a whole, you know, just from week 1 to week 2. Though Ty's made some mistakes in the week 2 game, he looked a lot more comfortable back there throwing the ball. He got sacked like 4 times in a row and still stayed in the pocket, didn't get happy feet. It's just little things like that. He's becoming more familiar with this offense and how he needs to play. And that's what we all need to, especially me from a 3-back standpoint. I haven't been nearly as physical as I would want to be, but hopefully I get things going this week.
He said that because players weren't very physical right now, he couldn't add layers to the offense. But is it safe to say the things that you guys have already been running in practice that you haven't carried into games yet? Because you don't need to show everything you have versus Wofford, for example. Right. Is it safe to say there's some things that folks are going to see they haven't seen from the offense yet? Oh,
there's a lot of things that folks are going to see that they haven't seen yet, partly because of the style of defense that we're going against this weekend. You know, like I said, Wofford was a 3-4 defense, and Troy was a weird defense. It's kind of different. But going into this game with a traditional 4-down defense on the other side of the ball, we can do some things that we couldn't do against the 3-4.
Is this a confident offense?
Very confident. Yeah, it's just, and confidence comes with winning. You know, when you win games that you didn't play, and you know you didn't play well in, yeah, it just builds confidence for you to not only go out there and play better, but to play harder.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you.